G'day! Today we are going to be testing out a theory I had about multi-shot. So, I've already done a lot of different tests for multiple shot inside the hand cannon, from nail shot, scatter shot, drop shot, and so on. This time we're going to be trying something else that I found that looked really interesting and worth a try, which was multi-shot, with one shot behind another inside one barrel load, and together they would all come out at once, firing multiple projectiles at once, kind of similar to the way buck and ball would have worked. I'm going to be giving that a try today using 50 cal shot in the 65 cal hand cannon. We also have a little something new I get to test, which is cannon fuse. Local gun store in my area at the black powder section, they had the 15-foot lengths of it, so I'm going to give that a try. Hopefully it's a good replacement for the black powder fuses that I was using from black cats and water dogs. So let's get this thing loaded and see how it goes. We're going to be taking the regular 3 shots like normal, and what I'm going to do is, it's a progressive load. We're going to start with just a simple 55 grain, kind of good starter load to begin with, and work our way up in loads from there. For the multi-shot, what I'm going to do is I'll load 4 or 5 shots at once. Since this is a lighter pistol shot, more or less, that I'm giving with the 55 grain, we're just going to start off with 4. And the next one, we'll try 5 at 75 grain. Get our wadding in to keep the bullets in place. The target today I'm using is a arming doublet that I've had for a few years. So we got it loaded up. Let's get into it and see what kind of damage we do. Wondering if I can see anything on the ground because it looked like something struck. There's one ball. Ooh, it's a little warm. Another thing to note is I have a little more pressure bleed off because in order to fit the cannon fuse, I had to up the size of the hole to 1/8 inch. That's the ball I found. No deformation from striking, and it didn't penetrate. This is small enough I can reuse it in the next shot load. Just got to make sure, though, it gets in there, because if I try to use it in my Kentucky pistol, it likely could cause a bullet jam. We'll do another 4 ball load like we did the first time, just to kind of stay consistent. So we'll load that reuse shot first to make sure we get it in there. Let's see if we can pack those a little bit. Feel them wiggling around a little, so maybe it helped. So the question here isn't so much of does the shot penetrate? The question kind of comes to, is it possible to make it effective? So more or less I'll keep loading shot in until we actually are penetrating that gamma sand. The whole point of firing multiple rounds like this is to put more lead down range. And being 50 caliber, I'm not too worried about the pressure, especially after feeling how that first one went. It's not even close to what it's like when I fire the 65 caliber ball, 60 caliber ball. All right, next shot. Okay, so that's where that very first shot landed for the reuse ball. There's another little indentation there. It's kind of hard to see them. I'm pretty sure that's another one. This is where it hit in the collar, and it burst out by traveling through the collar. So the collar, it's high here. That's not lining up perfectly, so likely the ball traveled through the layers of fabric, went through there, and back out through there, and out through there. So the 75 grain is getting close to what we need for effective load. Let's see what happens when we up it to, well, we're gonna do it. We're gonna up it to 100. So likely, just the theory running here, which is probably correct. Because I had to open up the fuse hole some, we do have a lot more pressure bleed off when firing, which is why it does feel weaker. Nonetheless though, it was necessary because I'm not going to have an unlimited supply of black cat fuses forever. Hard grain, 4 shot. Let's see if we can do damage. So it looks like I'm having a tendency to hit high into the collar. That cut through there, glanced the bottom there, and I can see at the tip of my finger, it's too dark in there to see, it went out the back. We got 1, 2, 3. So 3 of those hit. 100 grain, it would likely be your perfect load to be going with then. Yeah, that ripped out the whole seam right there. Just burst right through. I can feel a few splinters. I think I grazed a little bit of the armor stand there. Nothing too crazy. So those probably, ooh, there's a little dent right there from one hitting the wood. So that was probably from an earlier load. We'll see what that picks up in the slow-mo. I'm gonna guess that some of those shots might have slipped through somehow the seam here. I'll get this open and see what we can see on the inside. So got it all undone. Surprisingly, the lace tie had no damage. So those lower shots, they had to have somehow slipped in between the seam and the front to blast in. That's actually like really crazy. I think this was probably from the second shot where that landed there. I'm not seeing much else for damage. Alrighty. For now though, I mean, we can call this probably a successful test. We're able to learn something here as well, such as more is better. So thank you for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments and any other tests you might want to see here in the future, and we'll try to make that happen. Beyond that though, take care. See you in the next one.